Music has a strange power over us. It can evoke emotions we didn't even know we had. It can change how we feel in an instant, transforming our mood with just a few notes. A happy tune can lift our spirits, making us feel light and carefree. But a haunting melody can send shivers down our spines, filling us with dread. This is especially true in horror films, where music becomes a key ingredient in scaring us. The right score can make a scene unforgettable, turning ordinary moments into terrifying experiences. It's the unseen force that heightens our fear and makes us uneasy, even when nothing is happening on screen. Think about your favorite scary movies, the ones that kept you up at night. What would they be without their iconic scores? The music is what makes those scenes stick with us. The chilling music doesn't just accompany the visuals, it amplifies them, making every shadow and movement more menacing. It creates an atmosphere of dread, a sense that something is terribly wrong. It warns us that something terrible is about to happen, keeping us on the edge of our seats. Music acts as a shortcut to our emotions, bypassing our logical mind and tapping directly into our primal instincts. It can make us feel fear, joy, sadness, or excitement in an instant. And when it comes to horror, those instincts scream danger, making the experience all the more intense. The power of horror music lies in our biology. Our brains are hardwired to respond to certain sounds with fear. Think about the sounds of a predator in the wild. A low growl or a sudden hiss can trigger an immediate fight or flight response. Our bodies prepare to either confront the threat or flee to safety. Horror composers understand this primal connection between sound and fear. They use specific frequencies and soundscapes to trigger those deep-seated responses in us. Low rumbling sounds can create a sense of unease. High-pitched screeching noises can signal imminent danger. Silence can be just as effective as sound in horror music. In fact, it's often what comes before or after a sound that makes it truly terrifying. A sudden silence can be more unnerving than a loud noise. It creates a sense of anticipation. We find ourselves holding our breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. This technique is often used to build suspense. The music will fade out, leaving only silence. Then, just as we think it's safe, a sudden burst of sound makes us jump out of our skin. The silence amplifies the impact of the scare. Section 4. Discordant notes, discordant minds. Horror music often uses dissonance and unnatural harmonies to create a sense of unease. These unsettling sounds are carefully crafted to tap into our primal fears. Dissonance refers to sounds that clash and create tension. These jarring notes are not just random, they are meticulously chosen to evoke a visceral reaction. Think of the sound of fingernails scraping down a chalkboard. This universally disliked sound is a perfect example of dissonance in everyday life. It's a sound that instinctively makes us recoil. Our bodies react almost involuntarily, a testament to the power of dissonant sounds. These discordant sounds mirror the chaos and danger that the characters are facing on screen. They amplify the sense of dread and impending doom. They create a sense of instability. The music makes us feel as if the ground beneath us is shifting, adding to the overall tension. They tell us that something is wrong even if we can't quite put our finger on what it is. This ambiguity keeps us on edge, heightening our anxiety. One of the most famous examples of this is the screeching violin strings in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. This iconic sound has become a staple in horror music. Bernard Herrmann's score is a masterpiece of horror music. His use of dissonance and unconventional harmonies set a new standard for the genre. The jarring, high-pitched violins during the shower scene have become synonymous with terror, perfectly capturing the sudden violence of the moment. This scene remains one of the most terrifying in cinematic history, largely due to its masterful use of discordant music. Section 5. The rhythm of fear. The tempo and rhythm of music also play a crucial role in building suspense. The way a piece of music is structured can deeply influence our emotional response. A slow, steady beat can create a sense of dread. It's like a heartbeat, slow and methodical, making us anticipate what's to come. It's like a ticking clock, counting down to something terrible. Each tick heightens the tension, making us more anxious with every passing second. A fast, erratic rhythm, on the other hand, can mirror a racing heartbeat. This kind of rhythm can make us feel like we're in the middle of a chase, our own hearts pounding in our chests. It creates a sense of panic and urgency. The faster the beat, the more our adrenaline spikes, making us feel the fear of the characters on screen. Horror films often use a combination of slow and fast rhythms to manipulate our emotions. This interplay keeps us on edge, never quite sure what to expect next. The music might start slow and brooding, gradually building in intensity as the danger approaches. This slow buildup makes the eventual climax even more impactful. Then, as the action reaches its peak, the music will explode into a frenzy of sound. This sudden shift can be jarring, amplifying the sense of chaos and fear. The Exorcist and The Conjuring are prime examples of films that expertly utilize rhythm and tempo in their scores. Their soundtracks are masterclasses in how to use music to evoke fear. They understand that the right combination of musical elements can turn a simple scene into a terrifying experience. The power of music in horror is undeniable, making it an essential tool for filmmakers.